Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly live event. My name is Pascal Corcus. It's good to see everybody again. And as for those who don't know me, I have a mortgage company, accounting firm, insurance agency, property management company, construction business, and real estate investment company. So anything you need to know regarding numbers for your business, real estate investing, I'll be happy to help. And as always, the better the question, the better the answer. So ask detailed questions. I want to really be able to add as much value as I can to you. So I hope everyone had a great week. Mastro, what's up? Matt, what's going on? What's up, Hodge? How's everybody going on YouTube? Hope everyone had a blessed week. It's good to see you. Thanks for all the love. What's up, Big Body? What's up, Official? What's up, Alex? Taking financial accounting right now. Financial accounting is awesome. It's great. To be honest with you, though, most of the accounting I learned was not in school. Even though I have an accounting degree, you don't really learn that until you hit the real world. You know, that's how you actually learn real accounting. What's up, everybody? Lots of DMs. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing great. Sandra says, should we always pull equity out of rental properties? Not always. There is times to do it. If you have enough equity, then it's usually a good idea. If you don't have enough equity to do a cash out refi, sometimes you can do a home equity line of credit, but you have to balance it. You have to determine if it's going to work for you. So guys, we're going to give a minute for everyone to join, and then I'm going to start answering questions. Remember, whoever actually requests to go live on IG is answered first. Then I answer the question section in YouTube. I'll answer the question section on Instagram, and then I'll answer the DMs on Instagram. So make sure that you ask, you put it in that little question mark section. Kind of like this. Sham says, key things to consider when buying your first rental property at 18 with no credit score. So the first thing is you should try to build up your credit score. If you can build up your credit score, you're going to save a lot of money in financing charges. It is not that hard to build up your credit score. Refer back to my old videos, refer to my YouTube account, and there's a lot to learn about credit. Build it up, get it up. You're going to save a lot of money in financing. Credit helps you in so many ways. So your credit obviously helps you when you're trying to buy a home. It also helps you when you're financing for your car or credit card. It also helps you with your car insurance, helps you with your health insurance. Yes, your car insurance is less. Your health insurance is less with a better credit score. Some employers are going to check your credit score. Some licenses you're going to attempt to receive are going to look at your credit score. Your credit score basically is a number that says how credible you are. So you want to have a strong number. Now, at the same time, I'm not telling you to hunt hard for an 850 credit score. Once you're above about 700, actually, once you're above like 680, the returns diminish. Now, you should shoot for above a 720 because that's a respectable score. Yo, John, what's up? John Williams in the house. If you guys are not following John Williams, he's a great guy. You should follow him. Lots of good information on YouTube and IG. And actually, he's about to hit about 100,000 followers on YouTube. So congratulations, John. John says, rumor is anything under 720 is a sign you're weak sauce. That is somewhat accurate with under 720. It just, you don't look that great. But when we're talking about, say, getting a financing for a home mortgage, if you're above a 680, your savings isn't that much more, right? It is better to have a 720 or 750, but it isn't significantly better, when you're looking for that. So, John, how's it going? Did you move to Florida yet? And John, if you want to go live, let me know. Do you know do you know a good real estate CPA? I'm in Orlando. Actually, yes. I have an accounting firm. We do taxes across the country. We specialize in real estate investors and high net worth individuals. So DM me and I'll be happy to help you. So John says, nah, moving in 2 weeks to New Jersey and Florida by May. Nice. Actually, we're going to be getting licensed in New Jersey pretty soon for loans. I passed my exam, but I'm just going through the paperwork. And so if you buy anything up there, let me know. I'll get you funding. He says, John says he's at a restaurant in Huntington Beach. Nice. He said, we can hop on for a minute. Yeah, sure. Whenever you're ready, just request to go live and we'll talk. What do I think about Bitcoin? I think that blockchain as a technology has a great future. Who's going to be the winner? I don't know. Obviously, Bitcoin is like the gold standard of crypto. I don't own any Bitcoin myself. I do own Ethereum. I own Chainlink. I own XRP, and I own one other one. I'm going blank right now. No, I did not get my money from my dad. I had to make it on my own. All right, John sent in the request. John requested to go live. We're just letting it connect. All right, waiting for it to go live. Let's answer some questions. Ray says, what are your thoughts on investing in expensive areas? So expensive is in the eye of the beholder. So there's a difference between expensive and value, where you're paying a lot of money to get a lot of value. So let's not assume that paying $1 million for a property is expensive, because it could just be a really good value at $1 million, where you would buy a property for $100,000. So a lot of people, I see them buy condos for $100,000. And in my opinion, that is expensive, because the return on investment is what I look at. So don't assume low price, cheap. Low price can also be expensive, because it's not what you're buying. Like, for example, say you go to McDonald's and you buy a $2 hamburger. That's expensive because you're buying trash. If you buy trash, it doesn't matter how cheap it is. It's trash. So don't assume cheap is value. Don't assume paying $1 million for a property is expensive. It's all dependent on what you're getting, the value you're receiving. So yeah, John, but looks like his connection's not that great. All right, guys, remember, question section, answer those questions. Marie, Pascal, how much profit you look for in a flip? Now, all right, so regarding flips, it's dependent upon your individual business model. For example, if I was in the business of flipping and I only did flipping and I did 10, 12, 24 flips a year, and I have a huge crew, I have multiple crews, I might look for only, say, $10,000, maybe $20,000 in profit on a flip, and that could be good enough for me. But since I only have about 5 guys in my crew, I can't just take any flip and make 10, 20K and whatever. I normally look to be able to make at least 25K per month that I'm in a flip. That's me personally. So this last flip, I'm going to be in it I closed on it, I think, in like September. So it's September, October, November, December, January, February. It's probably going to be listed in March, April. It's probably going to be sold in May. So I'm in it for 9 months. So I'm going to make 9 months. I should be able to do around, $200,000 in profit on that deal. And that is justifiable for my time. Sometimes I'm willing to make less profit just because, all right, there's nothing else to do. Let me do something. But mostly, again, I want to try to make, about $20,000 a month for every month I'm in a flip. Again, if your business is flipping, that doesn't matter. Now you're just in the business of doing volume. And because I'm not focusing on volume, I'm focusing on quality. I don't need to do 50 flips a year. I'm happy with doing 2 because, again, I have the Airbnb business, I have the long-term rental business, and then I have all those other financial companies, the accounting firm, the mortgage company, the insurance agency. So I don't need to flip that many properties to be worth my time. I just need to have enough to kind of keep my my construction crew busy. All right, next question I have here is, my fiance and I are expected to buy something, but I remember you saying to wait. How long? So now, because they put out the $6 trillion and they're about to put out another $2 trillion, it's kicking the can down the road. So it's very likely that we're not going to see a drop until the fourth quarter of 2022 or the beginning of 2023 once they change the interest rates. So right now, if you want to start buying properties, it's okay if you find amazing deals. So normally when I'm looking at buying a property, I'm buying it for 30% under ARV. In this example, I'm going to say you found the property that's worth $500,000. Actually, I'll give you a property I'm looking at. There's a 10-unit condo apartment complex in St. Pete Beach. And it's about 2 or 3 streets from the beach on the island. They're asking about $1.5 million. I think it's worth, say, $1.1 million. And I'm going to put in probably about $500,000 in renovations into that property. So I'll be in for $1.6 million. Now, if you say, well, Pascal, if the market's going to drop, why are you going to pay $1.6 million? One, I'm planning to buy it and renovate it and finish it within 12 months. So I should be ahead of any downturn. Part 2, when it's fully renovated, the property probably is going to be worth $3 million. So yeah, I'd be in for 1.6, and when maybe financing charges, I'll be in for 1.7 or 1.8. But the value is worth $3 million. So I'm from the ARV after renovation value of $3 million. You take 30% off of that, we're at $2.1 million. If I'm under $2.1 million, then you can still do the deal. Purchase plus renovations. Because you still have enough equity, enough skin, enough profit that you don't care if it drops. At that point, I'm going to BRRRR the property. I'm going to buy, remodel, rent, refinance, pull out as much of my capital back out, and I'm going to repeat. This new loan should have a very low payment. So even if I lose 3 or 4 tenants out of the 10, I should still be able to break even. So it's still a conservative deal. And because I plan to hold the property for 10 to 15 years, by the time I sell the property will already be up. All right, so I hope that answers your question. And what I want to point out also is the market's constantly changing. So it's our position to constantly check and recheck to see, is the strategy of last month still good this month? And for a long time, the strategy will work, probably for years. But then all of a sudden, things happen like COVID, like $6 trillion in government spending, subsidizing loans. A lot of factors come into play where now you got to reposition. When they change interest rates, so a thing regarding interest rates. Interest rates and housing prices have an inverse relationship. What does that mean? That means as interest rates go down, housing prices go up. Because what most people look at is they look at, what is my monthly payment? And if my monthly payment is the same, I'm okay with going from a $400,000 budget on a house to a $500,000 budget on a house. You're willing to pay extra money on a home as long as the monthly payment is the same. Now, interest rates dropped. That's why you see home prices increase, because people can afford to pay more since the payment is going to stay the same. By 2023, when interest rates start going up again, what's going to happen is home prices are going to go down, because now it's going to cost, when interest rates go up, everyone's mortgage payment will go up. They're not going to be able to afford the higher payment for all the new people buying. So what's going to happen is the home prices will have to start going down. And at that point, we're going to also have more supply from all the foreclosures that are coming due. So interest rates increase, higher supply. It's going to cause the home prices to go down. I'm back in between food sessions. You gotta love John's life. I mean, he eats, he does his thing, he goes back and eats. It's a good life. John, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Are you enjoying your dinner?
Yeah. Hey, little man.
Hey, little John, how you doing?
I got some food coming out. How you doing, man?
Doing great. I'm doing awesome, John. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. We gotta get something going on YouTube when I see you in Florida.
For sure. We got to do something. We got to get together. I got a lot of content for you here, brother. I got a lot of good stuff here.
I think we're going to be doing some type of real estate fund in Tampa.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see what's up. We'll talk before we get there.
Awesome. Yeah, we're looking at some hotels. We're looking at different options, you know, anything that makes money. So definitely we'll talk.
What are you looking at, like repurposing, like mom and pop hotels?
Well, one of the things I'm looking, so one of the properties is like a 10 unit and a 9 unit on St. Pete Beach. I was looking to repurpose them from hotel motel into units, just annual rentals. But there is, well, it depends what city you're looking at, but this one right now, they're asking $150 a door. And I'm probably looking to try to buy it closer to $110 a door, because everything needs to go. New roof, new plumbing, new AC, everything needs to go. And honestly, I prefer that. I prefer doing everything, because when it's done, I know I'm good for another 20 years and I don't have to worry about sending out my guys to fix anything.
Right. Yeah, keep it posted. Yeah, there's a couple people out there, and I'm going to be out there probably, I don't know, next 90 days.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm also looking at bigger hotels and keeping them as hotels, because we're looking at a 118 unit and to keep it.
I'll connect with you a little bit.
All right. Enjoy your lunch or dinner. See you later. So yeah, maybe me and John will put something together, you know, looking at doing a real estate investment fund. We'll see what happens, you know, but John's a great guy. If you guys don't know who he is, that's John Williams, and he's a real estate investor like me. He does most of the stuff in California. I do most of my stuff in Tampa, and he's actually moving to Tampa, and he's planning to start doing real estate here as well. So Tampa's a great market. A lot of freedom here. A lot of freedom. Like, we don't have as many COVID restrictions. Our government is more for the people, and it's, you know, a lot of more flexibility. You know, it's similar to Texas and Arizona. Anyway, enough about that. Back to the answers, or questions and answers. Are you looking for investors to partner with? I'm open. I'm open to meeting new people and seeing if would be a good relationship. It's first on the relationship, and then from there, if there's a good relationship, then yeah, I'm open to investing with other people. Yeah, Chad says, love Florida. Florida is great. I mean, it took me a while to get used to it because I grew up in New Jersey. So to come from New Jersey to Florida, it's a very different atmosphere. But once you actually get in it, you really start loving it. Like, it's just very different. The benefits you get here, you really can't get other places. And if you can find something similar, you're paying way more money to live there. I mean, you could live really comfortably in Florida for $40,000 a year. and you would have this amazing, like to get the same features in California, you're going to be making 150,000 and way more traffic and smog and headache and crime and homelessness. We have a lot less, significantly less to California. Alrighty, let's get to the questions. Will you save this live? Yes, I do save the live events, but I actually put them on YouTube. So you go on, if you go to my IG, there's a link to my YouTube channel, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Turn on the notifications. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button. I appreciate it. That's how you say it. Thank you for all the work we put in. And yeah, YouTube. Actually, almost every part of Florida is a great. Honestly, almost every part of Florida is a great place to invest. But Florida is so large and has so many different demographics. It depends what your style is. You can go very urban. You can go rural. So there's so many options here. So it's up to how you like to invest. Luz says, I hate the weather in New Jersey. Need to move to Florida soon. I know a lot of people in New Jersey, and a lot of people are moving to Florida. They really like it down here. Do I need to pay taxes for initial investment? No. Your initial investment is a contribution, and you don't pay taxes on contribution. You also don't pay taxes on withdrawals based off of loans. So if you do a cash out refi, there's no tax on the money you withdraw. You only pay tax on a profit when you sell. Have you invested in Chicago? Actually, no. Most of the people that I know in Chicago invest with me in Florida. So Dolina says, yes, I'm living in Miami now and love it. Miami's awesome. I love visiting down there. Maria says, Naples seems to be a good market on the rural area. Naples is a good on the rural area, and Naples is always expanding or consistently expanding. So eventually, even that rural area will become transformed. Now, personally, I don't invest in rural areas. It's not my style. I prefer downtown core markets, and that's where I invest my money. That's where I buy my properties, or by the beach. Steve says, thank you. I want to invest in real estate in Florida. It's good. If you do it right, you'll do good. Yes, there's a lot of construction going on in Naples. Do I have any investment properties in New Jersey? No, I do not. We are going to be doing lending in New Jersey, but I don't have any properties there. The laws are not in favor of the investor in New Jersey, New York, Chicago, California, Washington, Oregon. So I invest in markets that are in the favor of the landlord. They're landlord-friendly states. You don't want to have the city against you as well. What's up, New Zealand? Mountain says, so I can live in Tennessee and invest in Florida? Yes. Normally when you're investing out of state, you have some type of partner. Someone's partnering with you on deals in Florida or in the state you're investing in. Tennessee is also a good market to invest in. What is my opinion on buying land as an investment? Normally people who buy land, or the people that I think is like would be beneficial for them to buy land, would be people that are already have a lot of money. They have a significant amount of money. They're not concerned about cash flow. They have a lot of cash flow, and they just can park their money somewhere. That might be a good idea. Got a question right here. It says, what are some underrated tax write-offs? Underrated tax write-offs. Well, really, it depends what type of business you have. I mean, one of the favorite ones I have is mileage. You get about 60 cents per mile. And I drive about 20,000 miles a year. So that's $12,000 for driving. Cost segregation model, but that's a little bit more complex. I mean, and then everything in between. I mean, it's tough. It really depends on what your business is. Some funny ones are, if you're a stripper, you can write off your lingerie and you can write off a boob job. Another one that's actually more common for regular individuals is, for example, I was in a car accident. My back acts up, so I bought a Tempur-Pedic bed because it was suggested to me by my doctor. So that bed is like $13,000. I can write that off as a medical expense. Pool. I have a pool, and it was suggested that I should have a saltwater pool. So I converted the pool to saltwater. So that conversion cost is a medical expense. Maintenance of my pool is a medical expense because it's good for my back. So those are things that if your doctor prescribes them, they're considered a medical expense where you might think it's not. So yeah, those are some good ones. Can I write off guest entertainment, customer entertainment? Not anymore. You used to be able to, but not anymore. But the good thing now with COVID is you can write off 100% of meals. Before it was only 50% of meals. Now you can write off 100% of your meals. All right, let's see. What is the principle that a bus must report any bus activities that could affect what is reported on the fine? I don't understand your question. All right, from knowing Philly/New Jersey, would you recommend staying here in the NE or coming down to Western Florida? So what I want to say is live where you want to live. Live where it's going to make sense for you to live and where you can make money. But invest where it is beneficial for you. Invest where it makes sense. What is the best method of building a good credit score? So one of the things I see people that make the mistake when they're trying to build their credit is they don't apply for enough credit cards. I think you should have at least 3 credit cards. Now someone's like, wow, 3, that's a lot. It's not a lot. I have 20 credit cards. I'm not using them, but I have them. Remember, every credit line that you have is an individual saying something about you. So if you have 5 credit cards for 10 years, you have 5 credit cards that said good things about you for the last 10 years, as long as you've paid them on time and you keep the balances low. You only had 1 credit card. You only have 1 line of credit saying something about you that's good, that you've had for 10 years. So of the 2 options, option A, where you have 1 credit card, and option B, we have 5 credit cards. Option B, that one would have a higher credit score. Most people think it's the opposite, right? They think, oh, I need to get rid of my lines of credits and I'll get a better credit score. No, it is your credit score is your credibility. And if you don't have enough sources speaking on your credibility, you won't have a good credit score. Like most people think if they pay off their car, their credit score is going to go up. But usually when you pay off your car, your credit score goes down because what you did is you killed one of your credit accounts. So that account no longer is saying something good about you. So you have 1 less account saying something good about you. If you want me to answer your question, put your question in the question section, and then I'll be able to get to it. Remember, people who request to go live go first. People who put the question in the question section go second. All right, is Florida good for the state to invest in Canadians? I'm assuming you're saying, is Florida a good state to invest in if you're from Canada? Yes, there's a lot of Canadians here. And if you know, there's an area of Florida that I buy in. It's called Dunedin, Florida. That area has many Canadians that live there. And the Canadian Blue Jays, the baseball team, spring training is there as well. So great area to invest in. Mountain Mover says, I don't use credit, cash. Not saying I'm right, just the way I like to work. That's fine. My dad's that way as well, right? He likes to do everything cash, very little credit. But let me just say this. I'm going to outperform you 5-1. So every time you do one good deal and I do one good deal, I'm going to get 5 times the return you are because I'm 5-1 leveraged. And that's the benefit that we have as real estate investors. So you're just basically giving up 5 times the return. And I've done many, many videos, and check out my IG, check out about a year ago, check out my YouTube about cash or credit. How should you finance? And you'll see that you can own 5 duplexes for the same amount of money that you own 1 duplex by using leverage. And the return is significantly better. In addition to that, people think, oh, well, if I pay cash, it's a lot more conservative because I don't have a debt. So if I don't have a tenant paying, it's okay. That's actually incorrect. Because if you have a house and you have one tenant that doesn't pay, you have no money coming in. But if you use that same money as a down payment and bought 5 houses, as long as half of them are rented year round, you should have enough money to pay all your expenses. So which is more conservative? Easily the one with 5 houses. Because in that scenario where you're buying a quality area and buying a quality property, you're gonna have tenants paying you consistently. Even in the worst of it, in the 08 crash, I had about 30% of my tenants not paying for about 3 months. And even then it was okay because I had a 50% break even. So half the tenants wouldn't have, if half the tenants didn't pay, I could still cover all my bills. Do you recommend putting all investment properties in an LLC? It's a good idea, but not necessary. It really depends on your scenario, how many properties you have, how much money you have. Hello. It's a good idea, but not necessary. You want to turn off the other live so there's no background?
Yes. So is it a better idea to pay off your home mortgage, or is it a better idea to invest in another home?
So let's think of it like this: the odds of having this low interest rate. If I said, here's $100,000, if you were going to invest this money, what return on investment would you get?
I'm not sure.
If you just threw it in a mutual fund or in some type of safe type of mutual fund, minimum you're going to earn a 7% on average,
Okay.
right? If you paid down a 2.75% interest rate home loan, why would you pay down 2.75% when you could make 7 somewhere else? And the thing is, now you think, Pascal, that's not a big deal. You're only talking about 5% difference, right? 5% difference on $100,000 is $5,000. If you take that over 30 years, you're talking about $150,000. And that's me not compounding that interest. That's simple interest, $5,000 per year. If you added the compounding where you reinvest the $5,000 at 7%, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. In reality, it's really millions of dollars. So you're not saving much by actually paying it down. The other issue is this. If you look at your money on it, if you read it, it says this is a note. Money is not actually money. Money is a currency. The cash we have in our pocket is a currency. What is actual money? Silver, gold. That's what's real money. Why I'm trying to bring this point up to you is this. A currency is this. Our currency says this debt. It says note on it. A note is a loan. The cash you have in your pocket is actually a loan from the government. It prints this loan out. It sells the debt. It gives the cash to you. So now you owe that debt. So if you owed a loan on a credit card, you have to pay interest every month. Our American dollars, the way you pay interest every year is called inflation. Every dollar that you have is worth less 3% every year, and that's how you're paying your interest payment. So when you have a loan, you are actually shorting the American dollar. You're betting, I bet, that the dollar is going to be worth less next year. And how I know I'm 100% going to win that bet is because the Federal Reserve says we are targeting an above 2% inflation rate. So you're guaranteed to win the bet as long as you use that money to buy an asset that's going to go up, preferably an asset that goes up that gives you a cash flow. So simply put, if we know that our inflation is a minimum reality, real inflation is at least 3% a year, but the truth is actually it's really like 7. But let's just say it's 3 to be conservative. In 10 years, if you borrowed $100,000, in 10 years, that $100,000 only has a purchasing power of $70,000. So that home that you bought for $100, just because of inflation, not saying that you did anything good to it, is going to be worth $130. And the debt that you owe, the purchasing power of it is only worth $70. You're making that spread every single year. So we are not in a society which is like 1970s where our money is backed by gold, where it's backed by something tangible. It's not backed by anything. What you want to do is get rid of the cash as fast as possible because it's worthless every single day you keep it, and buy something that's worth something, which is like stocks, crypto, real estate. But this doesn't mean, like, what people take it the wrong way is they think, oh man, let me just go buy anything. No, you could buy trash. You don't want to buy trash. You want to buy quality property, quality stocks, quality crypto, not just anything, right? So you want to be cautious, but at the same time, you want to invest, because I promise you, the government just put out $6 trillion. They're about to put $2 more trillion. So we're going to go through a hyperinflationary period over the next 10 years. We're going to have a huge increase in asset prices. For example, would buy wood for my renovations. A piece of wood would cost me roughly $3 a piece, 2x4x8. Now that same piece costs me $8. Metal's gone up 25%. Food's gone up 50%. So if you were spending $100 for food last year, and I'm talking about like quality food, not like processed stuff, real food, it cost $150 for the same food. And that's going to hurt real people. Unfortunately, most people are getting killed by the same thing the government's doing to try to help people. They're getting killed by inflation.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
I know I threw a lot of stuff at you. Sorry for going like 600 miles an hour, but you have some great questions.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So 1 in every $5 was printed in 2020. We're going through a major inflationary period, guys. Got to get ready. So basically, we're turning into a third world country. So the reason why we're not going to feel it as bad as a third world country, we're not going to feel it as bad as, say, like Venezuela, is because their currency isn't the world reserve currency. We're currently the world reserve currency. But if we keep on liquidating and devaluating, diluting our currency, diluting the dollar, what's going to happen is when you're diluting this dollar, the rest of the world is going to eventually not want to use it anymore. So that's where they're going to this everyone's going to kind of crypto. I do believe crypto is the future. Blockchain is the future. I can't tell you which one's going to win. Again, I feel XRP is good. I feel Chainlink is good. Ethereum is good. And I'm going to invest in Hydra something. It's a cryptocurrency that Amazon uses. So, yeah. Love Supreme says this guy's good. Thanks. So, all right, let's get some more questions. 15 unit, 55K unit, 825K. All right, what market is that in? You know, depending on which market, that's good or bad. Like, excuse me. Most of my properties are 250,000 per unit. So it depends. Some areas, 55K unit is a great value. Some areas, 55K unit isn't a good value. Remember, it's where you're investing in and what the market is. That's why I say study your market. Number one thing is know your market, because then you'll know what is a good deal, what's a bad deal. Should I refinance a 3.75% rate on a 30-year mortgage? I'm only about 3 to 4 years in. So normally for me, it doesn't matter how many years you're in. It matters what do you currently owe and what's your current interest rate. And then you can determine what's your annual savings. So in this scenario, let's just say you owed $100,000. If you go from 3.75 to 2.75, you're saving $1,000 a year. If you owe $400,000, that means you're saving $4,000 a year. If you're planning to live the home for another 5 years, you're saving $20,000 in interest. So obviously that's a great deal. The other major thing that people miss is that the reason people get capped and can't buy more property is called their global debt coverage ratio, or their debt coverage ratio, which means how much is their monthly payment coming in compared to how much income they're bringing in. So if you have a whole bunch of 15-year loans, then you're going to get capped pretty quick, because they're not going to let you get more loans, because the payment is going to be in the way of you being able to buy another property, because they're like, wait, you have too much debt compared to your income. If you get a 30-year loan, your debt payment is smaller, which means, oh, you have a lot more space between your debt payment and the total income you're making, so you can afford to take on more risk. How about a bunch of hood doors to invest? So I used to buy in like the South Side, and you make more money. You make more money. The issue is when the economy goes down, they don't have money to pay you, because normally they have, if you're in a lower income area, these are the tenants are usually not educated. They don't have a skill set. So they're the first jobs that go. In addition to that, normally there's higher crime, and the wear and tear on your property is more. So yeah, you're bringing in a lot of money compared to the investment amount. You're having a higher cap rate. But as I mentioned before, with a higher cap rate, there's a reason you're getting that higher cap rate. And it's normally because you're taking on additional headache, because the tenants don't pay you as often. There's more damage to the property. There's a lot more volatility with the income stream. So with that volatility, with that higher risk, you're getting a higher return. But when you account for the higher risk, when you account for the problems that come in, and you have a risk rated return, your income that you make in the hood and the income you make in the nicer area is almost the same. Now, what I try to do is find a rough diamond in a good area, fix that up, and collect rent there, because then the income is more consistent. More income comes with more risk if you are able to reduce the risk factors from hurting you. If you cannot reduce the risk factors that are going to hurt you, then you're not going to get great income. Any book suggestions for people starting up? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a good start. I recommend you read the Bible, 100%. Yes, good renters are everything. Good handyman on your team is really important. Just good people all around you is really, really important. So when you have good people around you, take care of that, because that means a lot more than anything else. Because a good team can make a bad asset good, but a bad team can make a good asset bad. What is the half key items to include in rental contracts? Don't understand what you're saying. Someone called me daddy in the DMs. It's weird. All right. What's the best way to get my credit score up? Get multiple credit cards, pay them on time, pay them off every month, and be consistent. I'm trying to sell hood properties in Jacksonville. Sell or buy? I like the Jacksonville market, but just make sure you get in a good area. 1 to 2 key items. A lot of questions. Hey, Pascal, how do I go about making my first investment and what to invest on? I prefer multi-unit rental properties. How do you go about making your first investment? Study your market, find an undervalued property, add more value to the property, do a cash out refinance, get most of your equity back out, move on to the next one. Should I pull from my Roth IRA for my first home purchase? I pulled out of my IRA for my first purchase, and it is worth it if you have a good deal. Because if you have a good deal, you buy a good property that you're seeing that it's going to appreciate higher and faster than the stock market, you're going to get a better return on investment on that property than you would in the stock market, then obviously it's a good deal. It's very simple. Do you think that your money is going to do better in that property than in the stock market, in your retirement account? If the answer is yes, then yes. And the government allows you to pull out up to $10,000 from your retirement account for your first home without getting charged a 10% penalty for early withdrawal. With 70K, would you buy one or would you buy multiple? I would try to buy a multi-unit building. That's where you make the money, multi-unit buildings. All right, guys, anybody that curses, I want to kick them off. Do you have any courses available? I do have a course. It's called Foundations of Personal Finance, How I Got to 23 Units at the Age of 23. The link to the course is in the bio. And the purpose of the course is to teach you guys how to improve yourselves and buy many multi-unit properties. When you take the course and you're ready to purchase a property or refinance, DM me, I'll do your refinance, and I'll give you back the money for the course. The goal is for you to become better as an investor so you can get more loans. You'll need my services for refinances. You'll need my services for my accounting firm, my insurance agency. If you guys invest in Florida or have anything in Florida, I can get you the insurance for the property in addition to doing the taxes, bookkeeping, and payroll, and the mortgages. So we are a one-stop shop. We do loans across the country. We do taxes, bookkeeping, and payroll across the country as well. So any questions, DM me, and we're happy to help. It is tax season. We are filling up quick, so please make sure to DM quickly so we can get you on the list. How can you buy multiple units for 70K? Well, I mean, I bought a fourplex for $180,000 with only $40,000 down. And it's worth like $600,000 now after, 7 years. So don't overcomplicate things, right? Find an amazing deal. Try to do the deal, get funding on the deal and make it happen. And then, profits will be made. Man, cramp right here. All right, Chad wants to go live. Do you do refinancing in New Jersey? I am. I did pass my test for New Jersey. We're just going through the process of registering with the state, and we'll be able to do your refinance in New Jersey. How one qualify for multi-houses refi income-wise? Well, refi or purchase. Basically, your purchase is no different than purchasing in a house. The good news is if you're buying a fourplex, you can use the income from 3 of the units, add it to your income to help support the mortgage for the fourplex. On the refinance, it's the same thing. The income from you and all the tenants, the rent, would go to help cover the mortgage payment. So it's not that difficult to get a multi-unit loan or refi. How much is the course? I think the course is like $495. No one's willing to finance somebody in Canada. We're able to finance people, international clients. Normally, they are required to put more down payment than an American investor, but still, we're able to get you financing. Normally, international investors are required to put down 30%. All right, best type of property to invest in when you're getting started. I prefer duplex, triplex, or quadplex. They're normally the best properties to get into. All right, guys, it's getting late. I gotta get up early. Hope you guys have a blessed day. And remember, if you need help with purchases or refinances on mortgages, we can help you with that. Taxes, bookkeeping, and payroll for small businesses, individuals, we can help with that. And we also do insurance in Florida, home, auto, landlord policies. Any questions, feel free to DM me. If you need to set up consulting for me to review your deals, you can use the Book Now feature on the IG page. In any way we can help, we're happy to help. We do it all.